Hello everybody, my name is Chris and this will be my review for the new Wonka movie. Now this movie is directed by Paul Kim. You may know him by his work on the Paddington films such as delightful films. I enjoy those films so much. Now I want to start out by saying that Wonka is a holiday delight and deserves to be seen in theaters during the holidays. I think it just fits perfect with the holidays because of the music, the chocolate, and candy. I mean, you have to have chocolate while watching this movie and go along with the fun theme of this movie. Now, I do think that this movie should have been bolder. Now I like the movie as it is, but I think it will have benefit from some 3D sequences and also making more of a splash with the sounds, because I think it has amazing musical numbers, but I don't actually remember any of the sounds themselves. But I'm not a musical person, but I do remember the musical numbers, and oh my god, the dance routines, the costume, the sets. I remember when the musical numbers started and I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe how good this is. That would be forever something that associated with seeing this movie. Maybe because I went with low expectations, but I remember each and every musical sequence. It was just a delightful joy to be witnessed, honestly. Now, of course, Wonka was dreamed up by Raw Dahl. Now, director Kim, and he doesn't shy away from the darker, more adult elements of those work. This is based not only on Willy Wonka, but also apparently some of the short story also from Dahl about the character. Now, Wonka starts out the film homeless, which I thought it was very touching to show how it can happen to anyone. You know, never judge a book by its cover, and I thought that was wonderful to include in the film and introduce to children that concept and how it can happen to anyone. And he's quickly pried upon by Olivia Colman and Tom Davies. They were great here. And the chocolate business guys, they're more like a cartel, are legitimately dangerous. I was like, whoa, they're not messing around. But how they the thing that I love most about them is how they can sing and dance, and oh my god, one of my favorite musical numbers. It was incredible. And well, talk about the cast in a moment, and so many to highlights, but I can't even highlight them all. Everybody was good here. But first, a shout out to the costume design, hair and makeup, production design, and VFX teams who brings Wonka to life, because Wonka is a visually marvel and the entire world of the movie is amazing and an absurd adventure which you'll never question, because the movie does a perfect job bringing it to life. But brilliantly, the movie written by Kim and his creative partner Simon Farnaby, who has a cameo here, they balance all the quickness with heart, and Timothée Chalamet's Wonka wear his heart on his sleeve, and to see such kindness celebrated today was particularly meaningful, and I think it's something that we really needed. And now moving on to Timothée Chalamet, when I first saw him in the trailer, I thought he was miscast as Wonka, but watching the film itself and seeing the flow of his performance, I'm really quite astonished with how good it actually is. Chalamet singing, his singing here is servable, but is helped by enormously by his enthusiasm, and he gives his performance his all, and he's extremely compelling. And with his witty frame and small, sharp features, he does seem like a shooting illustration come to life, and very much like the raw arc. And he gets to work with excellent foils in this movie, and we'll get to that now, starting out with Keegan-Michael Key. And it's hilarious as the chief of police here, and given a surprising amount to do in this movie. This is actually a pretty big role. From singing, he gets to sing, and to some great physical gas. Oh, so funny. And while all three members of the chocolate business do an outstanding job, Paterson Joseph is the big bad, and he's an outstanding villain. And to see such a serious villain, while he who takes himself so seriously, suddenly break into hilarious song and dance number, or it was just a joy to watch. And seeing the downing of the musical number and how far it went is really just a memory I will always have watching this movie. It was truly something beautiful. Now, Calah Lane is also very good. And at first, I felt her character was maybe too serious for the film, but once you realize that she's meant to balance out Wonka, where they actually make a very good pairing. And her story is extremely moving, and the movie is of course a chock full of fun cameos, and everyone does a fantastic job, as you would expect from actors of this caliber. And then of course there's Hugh Grant, who's been used a lot to sell this movie, and he was one of the best things in Paddington 2. However, while he does indeed deliver here, please note that his role is quite small, and he's actually small in the movie, so that's funny. And you already seen most of him in the trailers, so he's really there to kind of throw an anchor to the potential sequel, and where he's going to obviously take a much bigger role. So I'm quite excited for that. So yes, the hopeful sequel. The movie ends like so many movies these days, promising even bigger things to come, aka Wonka's Factory, which we briefly see, and it's incredible. I was like, oh my goodness, this is so good. But the frustrating thing about it is that I don't see many people like really interested in this movie, and we might never actually have a movie set there fully. But even if we don't get it, this isn't one of those films where, even though it throws a substantial anchor into the future, that relies on that entirely. The film does stand out on his own. It's good enough to stand on its own as a delightful origin story for Willy Wonka. Now, talk about previous Hollywood adaptations of this character in particular, and where this new movie stands in comparison. And the truth is that Timothée Chalamet's Wonka isn't meant to be an early version of Gene Wilder or Johnny Depp's Wonka. It's an entirely new third Wonka, and it's not. I'll say that I'm having a difficult time in putting him as my favorite Wonka because I actually like what Johnny Depp did with the character in that film, but this one is such an interesting story with him, and it really has some really beautiful emotional moments that I think it will pull out your heartstrings. And Chalamet really does a fantastic job with him, and I think that I'm more surprised by his performance here than the movie, because the movie is actually a great movie. I enjoy it a lot. It's such a fun, beautiful story here, a beautiful origin story for Wonka. But I think that I wasn't expecting like him to win me over with his performance, because he did in the trailers. So seeing him the full length of his performance here, I think it was fantastic. It was something really very joyful. It brings some charismatic energy, some positive energy to it, and I thought it was really beautiful to see. So, like I said, I really I think I'm still dividing him into him between him and Johnny Depp. But overall, I think the film was great. I think it, like I said, it fits perfectly for this holiday season. I highly recommend that you go and watch it. And it would, this is the type of movie that you go and you're really going to have a lot of smiles on your face and go along with the theme of the movie. Have some chocolate, go and make it like a party to go and see it. I think that would be the best way to have it, because I think you're going to have a fun time watching it. I surely did. So that's my review for the new Wonka movie. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, consider subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.